The Scary Movie franchise is one of the most iconic parody series in film history, but it's also one of the most inconsistent. Some entries are comedy classics that defined an era, while others feel like they barely understand the jokes they're trying to parody. So today, we're ranking every Scary Movie film from worst to best, based on humor, rewatch value, creativity, and overall impact. And yes, one placement in this list is going to be very controversial. Let's get into it. Before we start, here's how this ranking works. Each movie is judged on comedy that actually lands, parody creativity, not just references, rewatch value, cultural impact, and whether the movie feels like it understands what made Scary Movie funny in the first place. This ranking isn't about box office numbers or nostalgia alone. It's about which films genuinely work today. With that said, let's start at the bottom.
I'm going to blow you across the room!
Sounds awesome.
At number 5 and dead last, we have Scary Movie 5. And honestly, this one isn't even close. Scary Movie 5 feels less like a real sequel and more like a movie that accidentally ended up with the Scary Movie name. The humor is painfully forced, relying almost entirely on cheap shock jokes, awkward slapstick, and references that feel outdated even for the time it was released. Unlike earlier entries, this movie doesn't parody horror. It just points at popular movies like Paranormal Activity, Mama, and Black Swan, and hopes that recognition alone will be funny. It isn't. The absence of the Wayans brothers is painfully obvious here. The sharp satire, absurd setups, and memorable characters are gone, replaced with jokes that feel written without understanding timing or payoff. Even the cast can't save it. Talented actors are given almost nothing to work with, and the movie never finds a comedic rhythm. There's no iconic character, no standout scene, and no reason to revisit it. If Scary Movie is supposed to exaggerate horror tropes until they collapse, Scary Movie 5 doesn't exaggerate, it just imitates badly. This is the franchise at its lowest point.
Wait, I don't think he can breathe!
He's a pro. A sophisticated piece of equipment like that, of course he can breathe. Shit, I couldn't breathe.
Almost killed myself. All right, I communicated. It was definitely a demon.
What's wrong? Wrong foot. Mother.
At number 4, we have Scary Movie 4. Now, this is where the ranking gets more nuanced. Scary Movie 4 is not a terrible movie, but it is the point where the franchise clearly starts running on fumes. The film parodies War of the Worlds, The Grudge, Saw, and The Village. But instead of building clever setups, most jokes are delivered rapidly with little breathing room. There are moments that work. Leslie Nielsen brings his signature deadpan energy, and a few visual gags land surprisingly well. But overall, the movie feels scattered. Rather than committing to one central parody narrative, Scary Movie 4 jumps from reference to reference without fully developing any of them. It becomes less about comedy structure and more about how many jokes can we fit in this scene. That approach works occasionally, but not consistently. By this point in the franchise, the humor feels safer, more corporate, and less risky. The edge that defined the earlier films is noticeably dulled. It's watchable and has laughs, but it doesn't leave a lasting impression. And that's why it lands here at number 4.
Brenda, look! I don't believe it! The aliens killed the dinosaur!
At number 3, Scary Movie. Yes, the original. And yes, this is the controversial placement. Let's be clear, Scary Movie is iconic. It launched the franchise, defined early 2000s parody comedy, and introduced characters and jokes that became part of pop culture. But being iconic doesn't automatically mean it's the best. The characters are memorable, but not always likable, and the film doesn't yet have the confidence or balance that the franchise would later develop. So why isn't it lower? Because despite its flaws, Scary Movie laid the foundation. Its energy, absurdity, and fearlessness made everything else possible. It's a classic, but it's a rough classic, and that's why it lands at third place.
Oh my God, Ray, you gotta help me. Mommy's gone crazy.
Surprise.
Surprise, Cindy.
At number 2, we have Scary Movie 3, the most underrated entry in the franchise. This movie represents a massive tonal shift, and surprisingly, it works. Instead of relying purely on shock humor, Scary Movie 3 leans into absurdity, structure, and deadpan comedy. The parody of The Ring and Signs is far more thoughtful than expected, building full comedic sequences rather than isolated jokes. This is where the franchise truly understands timing. Leslie Nielsen's performance is legendary here. His straight-faced delivery elevates the absurdity of every scene he's in, turning even simple lines into laugh-out-loud moments. The humor is cleaner but smarter. The jokes breathe. Scenes are allowed to escalate naturally. And most importantly, the movie is incredibly rewatchable. You catch new jokes every time. The visual gags, background details, and layered comedy reward repeat viewings in a way earlier films didn't always manage. While some fans miss the raw edge of the first two movies, Scary Movie 3 proves that parody doesn't need to be crude to be hilarious. It's confident, well-paced, and surprisingly polished, just barely missing the top spot.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
Suck on this.
At number 1, we have definitely Scary Movie 2. This is the franchise at its absolute peak. Scary Movie 2 takes everything that worked in the original and improves it. The humor is sharper, the parodies are more creative, and the movie fully commits to its absurdity. Instead of copying one film, it blends The Exorcist, Poltergeist, The Haunting, and Amityville Horror into a chaotic, ridiculous haunted house story, and it works beautifully. The characters are more defined, the jokes are more varied, and the pacing is nearly perfect for a parody film. This movie understands escalation. Jokes build on each other, scenes spiral out of control, and nothing feels random, even when it's completely insane. The practical effects, physical comedy, and outrageous set pieces make it endlessly quotable and endlessly rewatchable. Unlike later entries, Scary Movie 2 never feels tired or lazy. It knows exactly what kind of movie it is and fully commits. This is the film where the franchise found its identity. And for that reason, Scary Movie 2 stands as the best entry in the series.
There's a little balloon animal.
The Scary Movie franchise is messy, uneven, and wildly inconsistent, but at its best, it's comedy gold. From genre-defining parody to franchise fatigue, this series perfectly reflects the rise and fall of early 2000s spoof movies. Do you agree with this ranking? Drop your favorite scary movie in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Movie Rank for more movie rankings.